Alrighty, so this has been my latest venture. I finished up playing, what did I play last? Elden Ring was last, I'm pretty sure. And then I was pretty excited about this new Pokemon game, and I got it, and I have to say, I definitely like it a lot more than, you know, the regular Pokemon games at this point. Like, I don't know what it is about regular Pokemon, but I've just kind of gotten burnt out on it. I think maybe if it was like a newer Pokemon or something like that, then there would be a little bit more interest for me, but for the most part, I've just kind of been burnt out on just regular Pokemon games, I think. I did get Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, and I tried to play through them for the most part, and man, I couldn't even make my way through the entire thing. It was pretty disappointing. It wasn't a very good remake as far as I'm concerned. Like, I felt like they could have did a little bit more with it, and it could have been a little bit more interesting, and it just kind of let me down in a lot of ways. So I was really skeptical about going into this one. I thought maybe like, hey, I might just need to you know, try and like just chill out on Pokemon for a while and come back to it at a later date, so that way I can, you know, not be burnt out on it and just, you know, hate this game. But honestly, this one was different enough to where I was like, okay, you know, this one might actually be worth like actually getting and playing. And I have to say, I was pleasantly surprised. I was really into it. I can't remember how many hours. Well, I can't while I'm on the bird. Let me land really quickly. If I check my total hours, I'm at 43 hours into the game, and I mean, that's not like a whole ton or anything like that. Like, it could definitely be higher. Ooh, shiny. Nice. This is epic. It is quite a bit different, and I think that's what I was really looking for. I didn't want to sort of just keep playing the same formula, and I think that's what like I was ultimately burnt out on. So this one having definitely like a huge change of pace. It's definitely more like open world. The catching and even the battling is quite a bit different in this one. I have to say, the battling is not my favorite. The battling is very like everything just seems to deal like way more damage for some reason. So it doesn't matter if there's a Pokemon like 15 levels above mine. I can, as long as I'm using like a type advantaged move, and I like go into strong style or whatever, I can basically just absolutely destroy that Pokemon no matter what, which is pretty weird. And it goes vice versa too. There's definitely a lot of times where like I end up going against a Pokemon and I get absolutely shredded by them. So not a big fan of that specifically. It's kind of nice in some regards where, you know, it actually like speeds things up quite a bit, but on the other hand, it can be a huge pain because you know, you get one-shotted by things, and it's not fun when you get one-shotted, especially like there's a couple of times where it's like, oh hey, you need to use, you know, or like you need to go up against this person, and like they have 6 Pokemon, and if they're around the same level as you are, then, you know, it gets to the point sometimes where it's just like back and forth and back and forth. Like, as whoever, if you don't send out the Pokemon with the type advantage on their first Pokemon, you're basically going to get shafted, and it's just going to be trade after trade after trade until it's just 1 versus 1, and you're going to have to hope that they have something that's not very effective against your Pokemon or whatever. I don't know. Like, obviously there's a lot of strategy that goes into like the harder battles and stuff like that. You can't just be like, oh, whatever, like I'm just gonna, you know, play it like I normally would. Like, I don't know, that was a little bit weird in some circumstances. Not my favorite whenever stuff like that would happen. But honestly, altogether, I really like the change of pace. I like that this one you actually like run around and you like legitimately catch the Pokemon. Like, you hide in the tall grass. Like, you can throw food at them, which will sort of like distract them long enough to where you can hopefully you know, throw a ball at them or whatever. There's even like different kinds of like there's like balls of mud, or I use sticky globs right now because they're like the top tier thing to use. But sticky globs are basically the same thing, where it just kind of like hinders the Pokemon so that way you can catch it a lot easier. At least in the late game it is. And I don't know, I mean, it's cool. I definitely like that factor a lot. I like it a lot better than just like having to, you know, run around in the grass. You start an encounter, it takes forever to, you know, like there's just a lot of like menus and, you know, animations and stuff like that that slow down the gameplay quite a bit. And this one's a bit more fast-paced, I feel like, in that regard. The storyline definitely wasn't as long as I wanted it to be. There's like 27 missions total, I think. It might even go past 27. But if we look at if we look at my missions, I'm on 27. Spoiler alert. Arceus is in the game, if you didn't know by the title. But on mission 27, I've done everything in the game except for catch Arceus. And I'm kind of turned off by the fact that to catch him, I have to complete the Pokédex. Which is, like, I mean, normally in a Pokemon game, the Pokédex is sort of like a thing where you know, you work on it, and if you want to, you can finish it and you get the shiny charm for it and everything like that. But in this game, it's like, oh, well, you know, you need to finish the Pokedex, or else you can't finish like the actual like main story of the game, which is a bit unfortunate. Like, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I've actually finished the game. I've already gotten the credits to roll and everything like that, and I've beat like the main storyline and everything. So I mean, that's fine. It is what it is. But I would love to have, you know, beat every mission and every side mission. And talking about side missions, there are a ton of side missions. So there's actually a lot of like extra stuff that you can do. Some of them were a little bit annoying in regards to it being like, oh hey, like I need you to go out and complete the Pokedex entry for this Pokemon. And at first I was like, oh no, like that's gonna be something super annoying, where in this game specifically, if I go to the Pokedex and I click on a specific Pokemon, so if I click on Zoroa, if I click on Zoroa, you can see they have like this giant checklist. Like I would need, if I wanted to complete all of these things, I would need to catch it 25 times, catch 20 of them at nighttime, defeat 10 of them, you know, defeat it with a dark move 10 times. And I thought that, you know, getting that entire checklist done was going to be what you would need to do to like finish the Pokedex entry for it. Luckily, that is not the case, thank God. Because there are a bunch of side missions where people are like, oh hey, I need you to complete the Pokedex for Machoke, and you're like, okay, so I just go and find Machoke, and luckily it's not do everything on that checklist. Once you complete a certain amount of things on that checklist, you can report back to the professor, and he'll be like, oh okay, like you've reached this research level, and once you reach research level 10, that is considered completing the Pokedex entry for that Pokemon. Oh wow, Spiritombs. That's actually kind of cool. Not really looking for any extra ones. Depending, what level are they? 60? Whatever. Not a big deal. But yeah, I don't know. The in-game content was pretty welcome, I think, because you finished the game so quickly. I was like, I'm kind of sad that the game was so short, but then there's a pretty good amount of time after the game that you're still playing, because there's like a lot of like the legendary quests and stuff like that, where it's like, oh, you know, you go and, you know, find these legendaries from this region, and there's even a couple of legendaries that aren't from this region, but it's because they added new legendaries that sort of tie into that, which I think is fine. Obviously, like, you know, the more you can do, the better, which is cool. But I don't know, some of the legendary quests were just kind of annoying more than anything. Like catching Tornadus, Landorus, and Thundurus was agonizing because of the way that they actually like move around and stuff. It's just super annoying how they actually like interact with you in the world. So I mean, those were kind of annoying, but I mean, I guess it was a little bit more interesting than the regular Pokemon, because most of the time Pokemon are either scared of you and they just run away, or they're not scared of you and they just start to attack you, whereas in, you know, those Pokemon, the legendaries that I fought were like more of like they have like a shield on kind of thing, and you throw something at them to break the shield and they will try to attack you at the same time, but they're also moving around really quickly, so you have to sort of like try to break their shield and throw a Pokemon at them to start a battle, so that way you can actually start like trying to catch it, whereas like, you know, just regularly catching a Pokemon, it doesn't work as well on those. So I mean, it was a little bit more interesting, I guess, but some of them were just kind of like meh, and like they give them to you pretty much back to back to back right there at the very end of the game, so that was kind of whatever. I don't know, I just feel like it could have been a little bit better. Also, the fact that you can see here I'm a 7th star member right here. It goes all the way up to 10 stars, but unless I just really want to shiny hunt in this game or something like that, there's no reason for me to keep grinding that out, really. I mean, I'm sure that she'll give me like recipes for different kinds of Pokeballs. Maybe that's what she normally ends up giving you whenever you power up your, or like when you get an extra star or whatever on your account. But overall, like I don't have any incentive, I don't have any drive to want to do that. So I figured that they would tie into the game a little bit more, because as you're playing through the game, there's several points where, like, you know, you finish this area and you know, the person's like, oh well, you need to become a 4-star member to reach the next area. So then you beat that area and it's like, oh, you need to become a 5-star, you know, person to reach the next area. And I figured that they would kind of keep adding stuff and keep wanting you to rank up your stars, but once I reached, I think it was 6 stars, there was really no reason for me to keep going anymore. And I just, because of all the legendary quests and stuff like that and catching extra Pokemon, I got enough XP to become a 7-star member, and I don't know what the point in me even going any further would be. I'm sure there's, like, you know, something that they give you and stuff, but there's just not any like actual incentive for me because I've already beat the game. So what's the point in unlocking new stuff if I've done what I need to do, I guess, is kind of my thing. I don't know, like, if I really wanted to, there's always, you know, shiny hunting is always a thing in these games, but I feel like the Pokemon Company knows that people are just going to shiny hunt at the end of, like, as their end game content. So they were like, oh, okay, well, you know, for a lot of these missions, we'll just give you a bunch of extra, like, materials and stuff like that, so you can craft extra Pokeballs and this and that. And I mean, that's fine, but I don't know, I feel like they should try to come up with better end game content instead of being like, well, people are just gonna shiny farm anyway. So I don't know, I felt like it could have been a little bit better in that regard. The only other thing that I really have a complaint about is that you can't, like, battle people. I even had to look it up because I was like, I wonder if you can, you know, actually battle your friends and stuff. Cannot battle your friends. The only thing you can do is trade with your friends, and that's okay, that's fine, but I mean, even then, like, you can't transfer these Pokemon to your Pokemon home, so even shiny hunting and stuff like that, I don't get to carry these Pokemon over to anything at the moment. They could add support for that in the future, but I don't know. 40 hours for the game wasn't bad. I had a good time. I don't know if I really think that this game is like $60 worth. There's a lot of times when I play games on the Switch where I'm like, wow, I really wish this was a game that wasn't on the Switch because it could look way better, or play a lot better, or even, like, if they would have just made the Switch a little bit more powerful, then it would look better and play better and you wouldn't have to worry about it. But I mean, this game still ran fine. I didn't have any issues with, like, frame rate or anything like that. But I just feel like a lot of the, like, it felt a little bit lacking because it was on the Switch, but it's Pokemon, so it's going to be on a Nintendo console. There's not really anything you can do about that. So I don't know, that's pretty much it. I don't have any other thoughts. I would say overall the game was really good. I enjoyed it quite a bit, but it was just kind of lacking in certain areas. I'd give it like maybe like a 7 out of 10 or so. I definitely like the fact that it changed up the formula quite a bit. I would love to see them do it again, with just like this kind of gameplay style. Like, I actually enjoyed the way this one played, so just something to break up the normal Pokemon loop was necessary, I think. So I don't know if I'll ever get back to the other Diamond and Pearl game, but this one was good. So that's pretty much it for me. Thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I will move on to my next single player game, and I'm sure I'll make a video on it when I'm done, I guess. So that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.